Nice.
I know. How super cool is that?
I don't know. Don't you guys think he looks a little silly? I mean, look at him.
I'm okay, but
Hello? Are you in there?
I'm gonna need some Windex after you touch
Yeah.
my face screen.
Uh,
There we go. How's
there
my
we
hair?
go.
Good. Okay, we're good to go.
It's all right. You got one sticking straight up right there.
I know. All right. Guess what I learned recently?
I don't know. What did you learn?
You
Wait,
guys all know.
I'm-
Where are you going? Not stop eating my solar system.
This looks so good. It's a big fat blueberry.
Why?
Do you
Anyways.
have anything special we're going to be
Yes.
talking
So
about
I learned
today?
something. I have known about something. I want to see if you do, but I know they do as
Right.
well. And so we're going to talk about trolls.
I'm sure I do. I know. Trolls?
Yes, trolls.
I love trolls.
You do?
I do.
How do you know what a troll is?
Wait, what? What? Look.
that,
Aren't they
Kim,
cute?
that-
I know what trolls
that-
are.
No, that is not.
This is Poppy.
No, like, okay, yes, there is a movie Troll. Did you used to play with trolls growing up?
I did have a few. I'm not going to lie. When I was little.
Yeah. And had to brush their hair and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now my granddaughter does.
Oh, there you go.
But look, aren't they cute?
I can't
Did you
even-
see my light?
I do. Here, hold on.
Is it
there you
on?
go. Yeah, now it's on. Let's show them the
Does
light,
it?
the
What do you
hair.
think?
Yep, love it. It's perfect.
I'm Poppy. So see? Trolls. I
That's-
know what trolls are.
That is not the trolls I was thinking of. I
It's
know that's a
not?
movie. Some of them have probably seen the movie and are thinking of that, but that's not the type of troll that I was thinking of.
Well, what kind of troll then are you talking about?
Like, I'm talking about an online troll, like an internet troll.
An internet troll.
Yes.
Sounds scary.
They are kind of scary like that. So like they're the type of person that if you say, let's say you were to post in your Instagram story
Okay.
a picture of lemons and you're like, I love lemons.
All right.
Okay. An internet troll is someone then who's gonna message you like, well, what about the people that like oranges?
Oh, just to stir things
Yeah,
up?
like, and you're like, I
Well,
mean,
that's not nice.
it's fine. Like you can like oranges and I can like lemons.
Without a
but,
doubt.
Like they're the people that are gonna like cause problems like that, stir
I
stuff
see.
up.
They just want to
They
make
cause
things.
fights.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, they want
I
to
get
make
it.
things harder
Yeah.
for everybody, you know?
Yeah, can't be easy going, can't get along, have to stir things up. All right.
Which, if we're honest,
Mhm.
we're all that way sometimes too.
Yeah.
Like, I may not message somebody on Instagram and be like, well, what about the people that like oranges? But I can say mean things and like cut people down
Yeah.
with my own words.
Or join in with others who are doing it, or agree with others who are doing it.
Yeah. And so today, that's what we're gonna talk about. Like
Okay.
trolls and like trying to stand up for people, help them doing what looks right.
What we should do,
we
what
should
is the
do.
right thing to do.
Yeah, so we're going to kick it over to our Bible breakdown for Cassandra to tell us about trolls today.
Bye.
Thanks, Daniel and Kim. Wow, those were some crazy looking trolls Kim had. And today we are diving back into the life of Nehemiah. In case you weren't here last week, let's recap. Nehemiah found out that the wall around his home city of Jerusalem was in ruin. The city was in danger of more enemies. He took initiative to make it right. Nehemiah traveled all the way from Persia to Jerusalem. He surveyed the damage of the wall surrounding Jerusalem. He even gave a fantastic speech to the officials of the city and inspired them and the people to help him with the huge project. And it was a huge project. Each family or group of people took a different part of the wall to work on, splitting up a huge job into more manageable tasks. They were really doing a fantastic job. However, not everyone thought this was a brilliant idea, or that they should be wasting their time doing this. So there were two guys, Summerbolt and Tobiah. Ugh, these two guys were the worst. They didn't want to see the wall rebuilt. They were enemies of God's people surrounding the lands. So they taunted the Jewish people. They were trolls. But the workers didn't pay them any attention. They were working so hard, it was going so well, that it seemed like nothing could stop their project from being done in record time. But as these stories often go, when it seems like things are going the right way, something happens that threatens the entire job. And it wasn't Cinnabalt and it wasn't Tobiah. This problem came from within the city walls. a group of Jewish people sought out Nehemiah. They found him working on the wall. Let's read what it says in Nehemiah 5, 1-4. Some men and their wives cried out against their Jewish brothers and sisters. Some of them were saying, "There are now many of us. We have many sons and daughters. We have to get grain so we can eat and stay alive." Others were saying, "We're being forced to sell our fields, our vineyards, and our homes. We have to do it to buy grain. There isn't enough food for everyone." Still others were saying, "We've had to borrow money. We needed to pay the king's taxes on our fields and our vineyards." They were telling Nehemiah that there wasn't enough food to go around. The taxes were high, forcing people to borrow money. But when they borrowed the money, the people they borrowed the money from charged a really, really high interest. Interest is extra money that people had to pay back. Like, say you borrowed $10 from me. I would make you promise to pay back in a week, not just the $10, but with interest. So now you owe me $15. These people were suffering right in front of Nehemiah's eyes. But he had to do a job as well. He was busy. He had to rebuild the wall. It's why he came to Jerusalem. He didn't come here to figure out the taxes and food and the farms. It wasn't his problem, right? Wrong. When he had heard about this, he asked, "Who is making you do this? Who is charging you high interest and forcing you to sell everything?" The answer shocked him. Other Jews. That's what they said. Other Jews, their own relatives. They even had to sell their children to work for them as slaves to work off debt. Nehemiah was outraged. He knew he had been sent to rebuild the wall, but this was something that had to be taken care of. But instead of flying off the handle and storming off to yell at the lenders who were overcharging their own family, he waited. He thought it over for a time. His own people, the Jewish people, were mistreating those who had less. It was just flat out wrong. He felt so strongly about that he halted all the work on the wall until this was figured out. He gathered all the Jewish nobles and leaders and officials together for a meeting. Once Nehemiah had everyone all together, he let them have it. Let's read what it says in Nehemiah 5, 8-9, 11-12. "I said, our Jewish brothers and sisters were sold to other nations. We're doing everything we could to buy them back and bring them home. But look at what you are doing. You are actually selling your own people. Now we'll have to buy them back too." The people kept quiet. They couldn't think of anything to say, so I continued. "What you are doing isn't right. Shouldn't you show respect to our God? Give the people's fields back to them. Give them back their vineyards, olive groves, and houses. Do it right away. Also give them back the 1% of the money, grain, fresh wine, and olive oil that you have charged them." Nehemiah called them out, and they had nothing to say for themselves. They could have argued back, but they didn't. They could have blamed someone else, but they didn't. Instead, God moved on their hearts because of what Nehemiah had said. "We'll give it back," they said, "and we won't require anything more from them. We'll do exactly as you say." Nehemiah sent for the priests so that these leaders and officials could make their promise not just in front of Nehemiah, but before God too. And they did what they said they would do. They gave back everything. Everything was restored. People got back to what they had lost, and because of that, work started back up again on the wall. And the rest of the time working on the wall, Nehemiah looked out for the needs of the people, not just the needs for himself. Nehemiah had a huge job in front of him and needed all of his focus and attention to rebuilding the wall. But even though he was faced with building this huge wall, he chose to address another problem that was right before his eyes. Nehemiah looked and saw that some of his people were being treated unfairly because they were poor. And he did something about it. He stood up for them and worked to make things fair. We should stand up for people who are being treated unfairly. Period. End of sentence. Listen, if you don't hear anything else I say today, hear this. Treating others differently because of the way they look, or where they're from, or how much money they have, or what they believe is wrong. Think about it. It's the way Jesus saw people, isn't it? He hung out with the tax collectors and the lepers and the people of society who were shunned away because they were different or had a bad reputation. He showed people how valuable they were by loving them no matter what. And he inspired them to love others. We can be just like Nehemiah, and we can act a little more like Jesus if we take our eyes off our own needs and actually see someone else's. After all, isn't that how we want to be treated? That's why our big idea today is look for ways to make things right.